KUAM TV8, home of Super Bowl 60, coming February 9th, 2026. KUAM News headlines are presented by Calvo's Insurance, protecting Micronesia for 85 years. Matson and the Adai Itano program. Apply at matson.com and McDonald's of Guam. I'm loving it.
Ahead on KUAM News Primetime.
Over 60,000 standing up against deep-sea mining through petitions, letters, and comments as the comment period comes to a close today. I'm Mitsuki Hirayama with what comes next.
11 AG investigators have been federally deputized, allowing them to assist ICE in targeting repeat criminal offenders, breaking the cycle of crime, and keeping Guam safe. I'm Nevaeh Anderson with the story coming up.
Classroom teachers have the opportunity to earn $500 for projects and activities through the Guam Preservation Trust. More details coming up. Hafa and good evening. Welcome to KUAM News Primetime. I'm Destiny Cruz-Lingus. Thanks for ending your day with us. Today, after weeks of increased attention on the controversial proposal to open waters in the Marianas to deep-sea seabed mining, the public comment period has closed. While the Federal Register indicates some 1,539 comments were submitted online, advocacy groups are documenting over 60,000 petitions, letters, and comments sent to the Bureau of Ocean Energy Management that they say are just the beginning. Mitsuki Hirayama reports on what comes next.
Over 60,000 petitions, letters, and comments submitted against the federal plans for deep-sea mining in the Marianas before the January 12th deadline. This announced during a webinar hosted by Right to Democracy and the America the Beautiful for All coalition, which organizers say was to document the public's opposition to what they call a widely unpopular initiative.
I do not trust the Trump administration to correctly add up the number of comments and petitions and letters that we are going to submit.
The nonprofit advocacy groups say civil society organizations from Guam, the Northern Mariana Islands, and across the nation came together to spearhead the effort.
Honestly, in my decades working on issues in U.S. territories, I've really never seen this kind of cohesion.
Right to Democracy co-director Neil Weir says it's not a partisan issue, but one that impacts both the environment and self-determination. Micronesia Climate Change Alliance Executive Director Maria Hernandez and Friends of the Mariana Trench Chair Sheila Babata reflect on the fast-moving proposal that they say blindsided Guam and the CNMI.
It is really an injustice to our people that it was held, especially during the holidays. And we've seen this with the military buildup where comment periods come out. We have 30 days and, it's during COVID, for example. And these projects just continue to move forward no matter what we do.
Our local government is going through austerity measures right now. So we've had to really adapt as a local government, as community organizations to address and respond to this RFI that was not expected by anyone on the ground. No elected leaders had any idea that this was going to be announced.
Though the comment period is over, Weir says this is just the beginning.
We're going to be working to raise people's voices in Washington, D.C. over the coming weeks and months. There may be an upcoming legislative hearing on this issue. Partnering with the Territorial Caucus that has formed is another opportunity in Congress.
Guam's Lieutenant Governor Josh Tenorio, who is running for governor, encourages Guamanians, Northern Mariana Islanders, and American Samoans living across the 50 states to contact their voting representative in Congress.
The only way I see us from putting a big opposition and a major roadblocks is getting the Congress to act and getting congressional legislation to prohibit this very violent and radical activity that's planned in the waters off of all our islands.
Meantime, KUAM reached out to Guam Delegate James Moylan for comment on potential congressional action on deep-sea mining, but have not heard back as of news time. Mitsuki Hirayama, KUAM News.
The Office of the Attorney General is expanding its enforcement reach through a new partnership with the Department of Homeland Security. On Monday, criminal investigators from the AG's office were deputized to assist ICE as part of a program targeting repeat criminal offenders. Nevaeh Anderson has the details.
11 criminal investigators from the Guam Office of the Attorney General have been deputized under the Department of Homeland Security's Immigration and Customs Enforcement Program. DHS ICE agent and Deputy Director Rodney Sayama presented the investigators with their federal credential badges, formally authorizing them to carry out immigration enforcement functions in coordination with ICE. All 11 have completed post-training and will operate under DHS direction.
With these credentials, our AG investigators are deputized as federal immigration agents, allowing the AG's office working alongside ICE to identify, detain, and remove non-U.S. citizen criminals who commit and are convicted of deportable crimes.
The deputizations follow a memorandum of agreement signed with DHS in September 2025, aimed at improving coordination between federal and local law enforcement agencies. The AG's office says the investigators will help identify removable criminal non-U.S. citizens already in custody and assist ICE with arrests tied to warrants or detainers. Attorney General Doug Moylan stated the effort is designed to stop repeat offenders from cycling back into the community.
We're all working together to create a safer community to stop the pain and suffering that's occurring from criminals.
According to the AG's office, since January 2, 2023, 110 criminal non-U.S. citizens have been identified for removal, with 78 already deported.
And that's the important thing here, to protect we who are not only just American citizens, and I think that is the most important part, but also the non-U.S. citizens that are here legally.
The AG also touted big savings for taxpayers, as deportation would save more than $43,000 per inmate per year, amounting to about $3.3 million annually with the 78 completed cases so far, and an estimated $4.7 million per year once all 110 cases are completed. The Attorney General's office further reiterated that the deputized investigators will operate under ICE oversight and within constitutional due process to deter crime before it can occur, break the cycle of repeat crime, and keep the people of Guam safe. Nevaeh Anderson, KUAM News.
And in other news, the Department of Public Health and Social Services has confirmed Guam's first case of pertussis, also known as whooping cough, for 2026. The case was laboratory confirmed on January 8th, and public health officials say an epidemiological investigation and contact tracing are now underway to determine the source of the exposure. Pertussis is a highly contagious respiratory illness that can cause severe coughing fits lasting weeks and can be especially dangerous, such as pneumonia, seizures, and breathing difficulties. Some infants may not cough at all, but instead experience life-threatening pauses in breathing. DPHSS is urging residents to make sure they are up to date on their DTaP and Tdap vaccinations. Vaccines are available for eligible children at the Northern and Southern Region Community Health Centers. Anyone experiencing flu or pertussis-like symptoms are encouraged to contact their primary care provider. Time for a quick break. You're watching KUAM.
Say howdy to the new Buffalo Ranch sauce with its tangy creaminess and its creamy tanginess. It's your chicken's perfect partner, only at McDonald's.
Anything's possible. College is possible. Retirement is possible. Adventure is possible. And so is saving for it all with our Bank Ohana Savings Special. Earn an interest rate of 3.25% for the first 90 days when you deposit $25,000 from another bank into a Bank Ohana Bonus Rate Savings Plus account. Requires a Bank Ohana checking account with an opening deposit of $500. So make your savings goals possible.
Anything's possible. possible.
Reach your possible with Bank of Hawaii.
Welcome back to Primetime. Well, new tensions in Minnesota. Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem says hundreds more federal agents are being dispatched to the state. The deployment met today by confrontations in the streets of Minneapolis, and it follows protests there this weekend and across the country, demanding justice after an ICE agent shot and killed Renee Good.
Rage on the streets of Minneapolis, where protesters and ICE agents are still facing off, days after the fatal shooting of 37-year-old Renee Nicole Good. Agents carried out arrests just miles from the street where Good was shot. This woman left inconsolable after her husband was arrested. Heckled by protesters, agents pushed back using pepper spray. Yesterday, a small group of demonstrators confronted agents at a gas station after they demanded proof of citizenship from a man while he was pumping gas.
Get the out of our city!
Border Patrol Chief Gregory Bavino.
What do you say to Americans, including police chiefs, that say if there is no de-escalation in sight, it's not a matter of if, but when this happens again?
The de-escalation and a lot of those police chiefs that you mentioned don't seem to de-escalate. They seem to escalate.
Are you de-escalating?
Absolutely. Every day we de-escalate.
Organizers say more than 1,000 anti-ICE demonstrations were planned nationwide this weekend. Demonstrators are demanding justice for Good and protesting the Trump administration's surge of immigration agents.
It is unacceptable that our government comes in and takes people off the streets.
Hundreds more federal agents are expected to arrive in the Twin Cities this week, where dueling narratives over what exactly happened widen an already visible political divide. Yesterday, the Department of Homeland Security filed a new rule requiring 7 days' notice for congressional visits to ICE facilities, despite a federal court blocking a similar policy just last month. Democratic lawmakers, including Representative Ilhan Omar, have been barred from visiting ICE facilities in Minneapolis.
I think it is really important to record, to create the level of accountability and transparency that we need.
As the federal investigation into Good's death continues, state officials here on the ground have voiced concerns that they have been sidelined by the FBI and denied access to all evidence. Nicole Skanga, CBS News, St. Paul, Minnesota.
In other news, attention all teachers, this one's for you. A new initiative from the Guam Preservation Trust is putting $500 into classrooms to help fund heritage-focused lessons and projects. We speak to Chief Program Officer Joe Kanata to break down how it works. Here's more.
Classroom teachers have a unique opportunity to educate students while preserving Guam's culture and heritage, both through their lessons and by directly engaging with their students. In recognition of that role, the Guam Preservation Trust launching Project Shop, an initiative designed to support heritage-oriented classroom projects by funding the materials needed to bring those ideas to life.
I used to be a teacher myself, and I know how difficult it is to get supplies. And many times we use our own personal funds to do that. The Guam Preservation Trust is thinking about you in that respect.
That's Joe Kanata, Chief Program Officer of the Guam Preservation Trust.
Maybe if we get the ideas from teachers on how they feel that they should teach heritage, whether they are math teachers, social studies teachers, English teachers, fine arts, any teacher can teach our heritage using their subject matter.
During this first cycle, interested public and private elementary, middle, and high school teachers are invited to submit a brief proposal, no more than 300 words, outlining their idea and how they would use the $500 allotted through the project.
One example is it's really looking at taking their students on a field trip to a historic site that is important, that the teacher has some lessons for it. What are the outcomes? What do they think, with this idea, what do they think the students would take out of it?
A total of 25 teachers will be selected based on several criteria:
how achievable the idea is by the end of the 2025-2026 school year, how effectively Guam history, preservation, heritage, and Chamorro culture are incorporated, and whether supplies can be purchased through local vendors.
All of the materials that they're going to use have to come from vendors on island. And so what we're doing is we're even going a step further and saying, you tell us the vendor and we will write the check directly to that vendor.
The deadline to apply is January 31st. For guidelines and submission details, visit www.pacificpreservation.org/shop. Well, the University of Guam has named Dr. Artemio Ricky Hernandez as its new Vice President of Administration and Finance and Chief Business Officer effective January. Hernandez was selected following a comprehensive search that included on- and off-island candidates. He brings extensive experience in public finance and administration, most recently serving as Deputy Executive Manager of the Guam International Airport Authority. His government service also includes leadership roles with the Guam Economic Development Authority and the Guam Legislature's Office of Finance and Budget. University President Anita Borja Enriquez says Hernandez's experience in public finance and commitment to higher education will be instrumental as UOG aligns its financial strategies with academic excellence, student success, and long-term sustainability. In his new role, Hernandez will oversee financial operations, human resources, procurement, campus facilities, information, technology, safety, and other key administrative services as the university advances priorities under its Tulas Mutna strategic plan. A UOG alumnus, Hernandez holds degrees in accounting and business and has received national recognition for leadership in government finance. He says returning to his alma mater is both an honor and an opportunity to give back through service rooted in integrity, transparency, and results. Well, pharmacists at the Guam Memorial Hospital Authority in Tamuning were recognized Monday in observance of National Pharmacist Day for their contributions to patient safety, medication management, and quality care. GMHA pharmacists work closely with physicians, nurses, and support staff to ensure medications are safe, accurate, and effective for patients in every stage of care, from emergency treatment and critical care to recovery and discharge. Quote, our pharmacists care for patients in ways that are often unseen but deeply felt. That's from interim GMHA Chief Executive Officer and Administrator Dr. Jolene Uggan, noting their focus, compassion, and constant vigilance directly impact patient well-being and healthcare teams. The recognition follows the recent announcement that Dr. Nam T. Vo, a member of GMH's pharmacy team, was named Guam Pharmacist of the Year by the Guam Pharmacists Association. GMHA thanked all pharmacists for their professionalism, dedication, and service. In other news, a 58-year-old mariner is safe after surviving a vessel capsizing west of Guam earlier this week, thanks in large part to preparation and quick communication. According to the U.S. Coast Guard, the mariner departed Maritzo around 5 a.m. on January 12 aboard a 22-foot wide pleasure boat named Solo 2. He planned to fish near the Agate buoy before heading out to the 9-mile mark. Rough sea conditions, including a high surf advisory and a rip current statement in effect for Guam, are believed to have contributed to the vessel capsizing. The Coast Guard says the mariner was able to call for help using multiple communication devices, stayed with the overturned vessel, and had informed others of his float plan, allowing crews to locate him quickly and respond. Officials are once again urging mariners to monitor weather conditions closely, file float plans, and carry reliable communication equipment before heading out to sea. Now for a look at your world at home. Here's a look at an island icon on Cross Island Road as Jutnya becomes telephoto, the gateway to the south.
Don't need a work break, keep the smile on your face. The moments you can't replace, and I'll be around. Whoa. You can count on me. You can count on me for life.
Wherever life takes
takes you, we're always here for you. Calvo's Insurance. Count on us for life.
Now it pays to spread the Better Together experience. With our brand new referral program, you can earn up to $150 in account credits for every referral you bring in. That's right, family, neighbors, friends, even your coworkers. Just pass them your account name and account number. When they sign up for Docomo Pacific service and drop your info, cha-ching! Credit applied. So spread the word and start stacking those savings. Additional conditions may apply. Docomo Pacific, we're better together.
Okay, so here we are, and you know, friendship is eternal. Volleyball is always awesome, but you know, Cougar Sisterhood is for life.
Oh, yes.
And we have two of Academy's very, very finest, now alumni of the Academy of Our Lady of Guam. Natasha Kelly, outstanding middle blocker and goalkeeper, and Ariana Cruz, two-time MVP. So, ladies, welcome home.
Thank you. Thank
Okay,
you.
so you guys are back for a holiday break and everything. What has your first semester of college been like, Ari?
Well, I'm majoring in biology, so it's kind of difficult to balance between school and still trying to play volleyball. But I'm part of a volleyball club, and we go like to tournaments. I think I've already been to one already. But the schoolwork is okay. I will say Academy did prepare me, 100%. But so far, freshman, first year, pretty good. Not so bad.
Okay, and so you're at the University of Portland, everything. Is it true that everybody still walks around in Portland? They walk and they bike?
Oh yeah, a lot of them walk around. You'll only see like D1 athletes with their scooters and their bikes, but a lot of people walk, especially since our campus is small, so we really don't need that much, equipment, yeah.
Well, following in the footsteps of her very, very accomplished coach, Natasha Kelly is going to the University of Hawaii. And are you still planning on majoring in engineering?
I'm actually doing quantum physics now.
Okay, oh, nice. Not a bad fallback. So how's college been for you, and what classes are you taking?
It's been good. I've been doing like my sciences, my chemistry, my calculus. Definitely a lot more homework than I expected, but Academy really prepared me. It's nice, like the people I'm with, they like make sure like we still have time to go out, like still have time to like hit the gym, play some volleyball, like ref, coach. It's just been a lot of fun.
Because I was gonna say, you know, like Polynesians are fanatical about football, but I would say, depending on who you ask, they said volleyball is probably the second most popular sport in Hawaii. It is crazy over there. So like,
oh, I love it.
Yeah. Are you getting
so
pickup games like in the gym against like some of the D1 players? Or?
Yeah, actually, they have like open gym every Tuesday and Thursday, so it's been really nice. Like I've been able to go to like open court. I met a great coach out there named Tisa Fotu. She like helped me get back into it. I'm assistant coaching with her, like even reffing out there, thanks to like the GVB. They're working with the Hawaii Federation. It's so great. It's like so connected.
Okay, so we could possibly see you suit up for the Rainbow Wahine sometime in the next couple of years?
We'll see about that one.
Academy prepared you for that too.
Yeah, you know, Coach Manny, just wait.
There you
go.
go.
A few years.
Okay, now obviously, you know, like you guys were a really tight-knit group, and Ari, I remember when I interviewed you during your senior year, you said, we know we won the championship because of our talent, because of our hard work, but you said we really feel that this was possibly the tightest knit group of Cougars, that 25 class. You guys were so close.
Yes, 100%. I think that was one of like my best seasons I've ever played, especially because our team was just so close and we were undefeated, so it feels good, to play with them.
So how do you guys like keep in contact? Obviously, you guys are on WhatsApp all the time, I'm assuming.
WhatsApp, Instagram, use our social media, but honestly, we don't have to like text each other every day to keep in contact. Every now and then we still text, but our bond is, I don't know, ever since volleyball, our bond has been pretty tight.
And you guys probably tag each other like crazy on stories.
Oh yeah, yes, 100%.
Okay, now the transition to college, even for like, you know, like a school at Academy, gets your mind right, gets your spirit right, you know, gets your academics right. Tosh, it can be really, really tough, right?
Yeah.
Going to like, I mean, even though you're going to a different island, a much bigger city, there's a lot of different people. Like, do you guys feel homesick?
I think yes and no. There's a part of me that like misses the Guam culture because even though Hawaii is an island, it's like so big. I like got off the plane and I was like, wow. So it's like there's a part of me that misses like how much everyone's just a family here, how everyone knows everyone. But I think it's just like great because I met so many new people from like different states, and it's like so many opportunities that sometimes it's like as much as I miss home, I wouldn't trade it for the world because I'm just like I would never get this opportunity somewhere else.
Okay, have you really gotten on board with eating poi?
Yes and no.
Poi's good.
Surprisingly, the bat out there is pretty good.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah, my friend put me on fried bat. You should try it.
Okay, oh, definitely. Okay, Ari, what's good in Portland?
Oh, their burgers are really good. Honestly, I do miss Guam food.
There's a lot of vegan food out there too, right?
Oh, a lot. You got a lot of vegan options, but I'm not a vegan, so I don't take that option.
Your chamarita still, you got to get your barbecue,
Oh yeah,
right?
I miss my red rice, my tinagtag, all of the above. But I have a lot of Guam friends, and we like to cook chamorro food, and then some of our family members mail some chamorro snacks and stuff.
And then proving how much of a tight-knit group you are, it's the Hagen Club that you guys have played for too, but you guys are actually taking your class and you guys are having is this even a friendly scrimmage? Because I know you guys are going to bring it.
I mean, I do say it's a friendly scrimmage, but we still are competitive no matter what. I don't care if it's just a scrimmage. I'm still pretty competitive.
And Todd, the unmistakable, unstoppable connection that you two had as seniors, right?
Yeah.
Was the back quick set.
Yes.
Cruz to Kelly, right?
Yes.
No one can stop that. Have you guys really worked out since you guys have both been home for Christmas break? And have you guys still got that connection?
Yeah, we actually tested it. We did a scrimmage the other week, and we were like, we might be too old for this, but it's still there. Yeah, we were actually talking about it. I call her all the time just from random places in Hawaii, and we're always like, do we still have that set? And
I know, yeah.
So your full name, what year did you graduate from high school, and what village are you from?
Okay, Eric John Canovis, went to St. Paul's, and I'm from Jigo.
Once again, the simple act of playing a game and the manner in which you conduct yourself in it is being used to illustrate how the decisions we make have big lifelong impacts. And that on an island, we're always part of a team, a unit, and a family that depends on you to hold down your corner.
Yeah, so we're hoping just to get the whole community involved and then be able to see the parents support the kids, and then at the same time while the kids are here, we teach them responsibility, the importance of staying structured, and all the other life lessons that come with learning basketball that can be applied into real life.
Togi held a youth basketball camp stressing the analogy of dialogue, smart moves, being defensive, and having your teammates' backs.
Yeah, it's just communication with them. If we're not here to focus so much on the basketball, it's more so to teach them the basics of how to do things. We're planning intro classes, and then if we have advanced kids, then we can get into the basketball stuff.
Giving Every Tuesday is brought to you by Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers, One Love.
Hafaday! We are KUAM Spark Ambassadors, and my name is Tiana Jo Magday.
And my name is Cohen Diego. Gourmet Guam's motto is baking happiness, so come with us inside to take a look at the love they have baked up in their kitchen. Welcome in.
For KUAM Guahan, we wanted to center our project around diversity and love and kindness throughout our island. So we partnered with Gourmet Guam to showcase the diverse flavors that are found on our island. So first we have their ube flavor, that's a Filipino flavor. And then we have over here their latiza, which highlights Chamorro culture and Chamorro flavors that is found a lot on our island as well.
To us, Giving Tuesday is every day. So every Tuesday for the month of December, Gourmet Guam donated 10% of their profit to Munyetlu, a local nonprofit whose key mission is to uplift these underrepresented communities on our island. On behalf of the KUAM Spark Ambassadors, we humbly present you, Munyetlu, this check.
so that you guys can continue to do the good work that you do for our island. We really appreciate it. Thank you guys.
Thank you. On behalf of Minyetlu, I'd like to thank KUAM, the Spark Ambassadors, and Gourmet Guam for this donation. This will help our community that we serve. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Giving Every Tuesday is brought to you by Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers, One Love. News Bites is brought to you by Docomo Pacific, Better Together, and Fresco Clothing, original custom design apparel of Guam and the Marianas.
Half a day, everyone. This is Janice Carrasco with KUAM News. Welcome back. Help out the Simon Sanchez High School's class of 2026 with the Sharks Run the Wave. The 5K, 2K will be held at Chamorro Village southbound with showtime at 5 a.m. and go time at 6 a.m. $50 for a team of 4. Pre-registration is $15 and $20 on race day. Registration will be available at Micronesia Mall on January 16th, the 17th, and on January 24th through the 25th. Next up, the Guam's Women's Club will be having their annual Mardi Gras on February 7th at the Hyatt from 6 p.m. to 11 p.m. This event will raise funds for scholarships of University of Guam students. The 70th Guam Women's Club Mardi Gras, a glam rock funk fest. Tickets are $125 and can be purchased with any GWC members or guamtime.net. Next up, support the Okadu High School class of 2026 by joining the Bulldog Color Run 5K. It takes place on January 18th on Chamorro Village. Start time is 5:30 in the morning and go time is 6 a.m. Pre-register now for $20, group of 4 is $75, and race day is $25. Scan the QR code now to register. All right, we're going to switch over to NBA, guys. January 14th, which is Wednesday. It's going to be against Minnesota Timberwolves at Milwaukee Bucks. 11 a.m. is the time. Next, it's Portland Trail Blazers at Golden State Warriors at 2 o'clock p.m. Don't want to miss out. All right, and we are all done for today. Thank you so much and have a lovely rest of your day.
All right, everybody, happy Tuesday birthday to Serena Leigh Pangilinan. Happy birthday to you, Serena Leigh, and I hope everybody on Guam is singing you the Serena song today, in addition to happy birthday, because both songs are awesome, and you certainly deserve it. Amazing, amazing songs. All right, I have been waiting all day, all year, in fact, all 13 days of the year to say happy birthday to Michelle Catahay. Happy birthday to this amazing mommy of 3 beautiful little ones, a razor-sharp telecom manager at GTA, and a former KUAM reporter and anchor woman. Michelle, all the lives you've touched and all the people you've impacted wish you a very, very wonderful birthday. Your brother and your sisters, your Cougar classmates from Academy, and all of us reporters, we wish you a beautiful day. And because Michelle and I worked together for so long, she made me promise I would not say her age because, as we all know, we're all 26 forever. Yep. And happy birthday to Frank Garrido from your family and friends and classmates on Guam, California, and on Texas. They all say, Biba, Mungi Town. Happy birthday from Manila and from Guam to you, Frank. Want to wish your special someone a happy birthday? Just click the QR code here on your screen or email birthdayclub@kuam.com.
And that's your primetime show. Thanks for watching. Have a safe evening and stay beautiful.
Health, Home, and Lifestyle is brought to you by The Medical City, your trusted partner in health.
House to Home on KUAM is a local television segment or program in Guam.
That's right.
That focuses on topics related to homes, real estate, interior design, and lifestyle.
We do.
It airs on KUAM, which is Guam's leading TV and media network.
We are.
The show often features tips for homeowners, spotlights on local properties, interviews with real estate professionals, and advice on making your house feel more like a home.
Because that's what we do. That's right, my friends and fellow Guamanians. House to Home back once again. Brand new year, same show. We are showing you how to live a healthy island life, how to manage your property, how to get the very best value for what you own, and live happily
and live healthy. We got so much stuff planned for you this month, this week, today. So let's get right into it. Here's what we got for you this week.
House to Home, presented by Remax Diamond Realty.
All right, everybody, hop a day and welcome to the first House to Home of 2026. Liz and Gina, I hope you had a wonderful, festive, relaxing, blessed New Year. And I know at least one of you, because in our little private chat the three of us had, one of you saw a lot of snow.
Yeah, Gina was able to see the snow. I was able to see the food.
I saw the snow.
City and food.
Okay, I've always said that the craziest thing, I used to work in a department store locally. The craziest thing we ever did was stock antifreeze. I don't know why anyone would do that on a tropical island, but...
Right?
I
never thought of that.
Okay, and Gina, as a proper island woman who's got roots like on Guam and in Palau and everything like that, how do you handle snow? I would rather sweat than freeze.
You know, actually, and I was just sharing with somebody today about that, with the right layers on, it was absolutely wonderful.
Okay.
You know what I don't understand? You know, the little kids, our grandchildren, they were out there like half dressed and they loved it. So I don't know. They just adapt so well.
Okay, now there's a difference between it just being snowing, Liz, and snowing and windy. Snowing and windy is like no, I'm inside.
It's cold. I mean, Japan, Osaka and Nagoya was cold. We had to really bundle up. And once the wind starts to whip up, wow, the temperature just drops at that point. So definitely layering and thick coats made a big difference.
Again,
sure.
well, you know, you can give me the green grass and the blue sky of our tropical island paradise anytime, and I will take that. And that is something that I definitely want to broker. Gee, what a wonderful segue, because we're talking about brokering today.
Yes, we are.
Yes. See how I kind of like transition into that? We're starting 2026 that way, people. Yeah. Okay, so Gina, you actually picked the first topic of the year and everything like that, because this is something, a new piece of legislation has been proposed by Senator Tello Taigui, who was one of the senators that you both and several of your colleagues endorsed last time about her stance on real estate. And she's actually trying to, shall we say, go ahead and frame it for us, like Gina, because this is a lot of the brokerage details.
Yeah, well, back in, when was that this first came up? August 2024, NAR mandated that whenever a buyer, and this applied to residential real estate.
Oh, the disclosure thing.
Yeah, the disclosure and buyer broker representation. And it was applicable. The NAR guidelines mandated that when we're working with a buyer, that prior to taking that buyer out, that we sit down in consultation with the buyer and go over a buyer broker agreement. So basically, the buyer goes into an agreement with their broker, their agent. And in the brokerage agreement, it details our responsibility to represent that buyer, what the compensation amount is going to be, how it's going to get paid, and under what circumstances that agreement could be canceled. And so that was mandated by NAR. Again, I think it was August 2024 that it went into effect as a mandate for us as members of the National Association of Realtors. All realtors who are on Guam subscribe to that because we're all NAR members.
But now it's been filtered down to the local policymaking level too.
That's correct. That was Tello's bill, yeah.
Well, the reason for the bill was on Guam, there's a distinction between realtors who are part of the National Association, and we're under we have to follow the Code of Ethics, guidelines, all about the disclosure, which was dictated by the National Association of Realtors. However, on Guam, there are also real estate agents who are not part of the National Association and that do not fall under our Code of Ethics. So in the documentation of this bill, it means by law, every real estate agent and broker are subject to the law, meaning there's got to be representation in writing whenever a regular real estate agent takes people around, because We were the ones, it was dictated under the National Association, but because of this law, now every agent on Guam, whether you are part of the realtor group or you are licensed and not part of the group, you are subject to this law. So the law placed this across the board for all those that are licensed doing the real estate work. And part of it is, again, it's all about disclosure, defining who represents whom, whether we are representing the seller or a buyer or a tenant, and also discloses the compensation, who is paying what amount to whom, whether the compensation is coming from the listing side of the transaction or coming, who's going to pay for it. Either the buyer pays for it or the seller or both. So it actually breaks things down.
Now, ladies, I know obviously both of you agree in principle with the high level concept behind Senator Tadigui's legislation. Let me go ahead and bring that up now so everybody can get a look at it. Whoops, there we go. Screen share. And here we are. Okay. Is there anything like mechanically that you like or find like really noteworthy or interesting as we kind of like scroll slowly through the fact that it has to be a brokerage agreement and, you know, disclosure is so like heavily enforced? When it gets down into the line by line mechanics of this proposed legislation, is there anything that really sticks out to you?
What stuck out to me was the fact that this law expanded on the NAR guidelines. It isn't just applicable to residential real estate. It's applicable to leases as well. It's applicable. I don't see it specifically saying that it's mandated towards commercial, but it does say leases in general. So what I would assume that if you're going to be working with a commercial lease or residential lease, that it would be applicable in those instances.
There you go. Yeah, the buyer or leasee's rights and obligations regarding compensation paid to the brokerage. So yeah.
Yeah, you need an agreement whether you're renting or buying. This law is applicable to both instances. And Liz just explained, you have to outline who, you know, so I think the thing that we're not used to yet, buyers are not used to this yet, is the fact that you have to pick your realtor now. It isn't just about calling on the sign. Yes, call on the signs. But before you call in the signs, if you're actually in the market to buy real estate, if you've decided that is, you know, that you're serious about buying real estate this year, what the first thing you need to decide on is who is going to represent your interest. Find a realtor that you feel strongly about working with, or interview a couple of people, you know, call around, ask your friends, ask your family members, or go online. There's a lot of people online nowadays who market their services, and then find somebody, call them, ask questions, see if you believe they're going to represent your best interest, find out how they're going to do it. You know, I mean, of course, I hate to say this, but we're all going to say we will represent your best interest. But how are you going to represent my best interest? What does
of course, because every restaurant restaurant says we've got the best food like on the island, and now we can prove it because of A, B, C, D, and that's where the creativity comes in. That's where the innovation comes in, and you know, and ultimately the customer service shines through on that point.
That's right. And you know what I do when I get a call and I say, well, we saw your sign, or I'm interested in this property and it's listed with another agent. The first thing I would ask is, are you represented? Because I, as an agent or broker, cannot take you to see a piece of property if you've already signed a representation agreement.
Did we invent crispy chicken? Nah. We just put it where it belongs, inside burritos and tacos, obviously. Extra saucy. 2 strips, huh? Look at that. Overachieving? Sure. Did you ask for it? No, but we did it anyway. Crispy chicken from Taco Bell, a brand new classic. You're welcome.
And I always want to provide as much information on the front side so that they know which direction to go. And our job is to guide them and educate them. And if they don't know, then how can you best serve them without providing as much information as you can on the front side? That if this happens, then this is the direction we will take. Now, a buyer could go in and say, I am not represented. Again, we would say, okay, this is what it means. If you're not represented, who's looking out in your interests? And of course, if you have no knowledge of real estate and this is your first time buying, I think it's critical that you find, as Gina puts it, someone who knows how to guide you through the process versus going in unrepresented. And a seller could take advantage of you, Jason. You have no clue. And I'm asking X amount and you don't know what the market is because nobody's guiding you. And that's where a good realtor comes in.
And I would think, Gina, correct me if I'm wrong, but this also gives the realtors like the security and the peace of mind that me as a client, I won't all of a sudden be waffly or wishy-washy or vacillate or however you want to say it and jump from realtor to realtor to realtor, either because that's just what, that's just because the speed of the wind that day, or just because I feel weird. That gives you the right that I am going to be doing business with you today and for the term and the region outlined in the agreement.
Well, you know what it does? It gives the buyers clarity, real clarity. It explains to them the process, because before that's exactly what was happening. You just call from sign to sign. But now, if you happen to call me on my sign, which is really what happens most often, right?
You have a very nice picture on your sign, by the way. Both of you do.
Oh, thank you, Jason. I always pray that my picture, when you see that picture or my card, that you will recognize me when we run into each other. That is the goal. But going back to the sign,
so that means you're not going blonde anytime soon, I would assume.
Not ever.
You would look good as a blonde, I must say.
Okay. That's not happening, so I'm not going to think about it.
Okay.
But if they call me on the sign, what's happening is you're calling the listing agent, which is great. I'm going to give you every piece of information I can while I'm talking to you. But what I'm really trying to make an effort to do nowadays is I'm trying to take the time to explain to you the process. If you're really serious about buying a home, you need to understand that you need representation now. And for so many reasons. I mean, number one, by law, you need representation before you can actually walk into that house to look at it. And that representation doesn't have to be, I think Liz mentioned earlier, it could just be for each property, or you can sign a document saying, I'm unrepresented, but I need you to show me this house. Like if I were the listing agent and you wanted to look at my listing, I absolutely have no problem doing that for you. That is my job. The seller has, signed a contract with me to market the home. So if you call and you say, I have a buyer agreement with Liz and Liz is unavailable, shoots, come on down. I'll show it to you. And then just get the detail. I'll show it to you. I'll give you all the details that I'm authorized to give, that's already in MLS. And then you talk over everything else with your agent, Liz. But let's say you don't have an agent. Come on down anyway. And you have options now. You can sign the non-represented buyer agreement. So I don't have representation, Gina, but I want to look at the house, no problem. Or I'm going to explain to you what representation means so that you understand what these contracts mean. Now you're actually hiring somebody to represent your best interest. And that's important. And that's part of the transparency. That's part of the issue that came up with NAR with the lawsuit. And that's part of why this went into effect. And I believe that was the goal that GAR had in mind. We want transparency for buyers, for the tenants, for everybody that's dealing in real estate. This will give them transparency. And the other very important thing is whenever you hire somebody, you got to agree to pay them something. And the buyer broker agreement outlines what I'm going to get paid, what I expect to get paid, and it also outlines how you're going to pay me, whether you're paying me out of your pocket or you're going to ask the other side of the deal, which would be the seller or the landlord, to pay for that compensation. That is completely up to you. Or you're going to add it into the price when you make an offer. That is up to the buyer. But all of those fine points, they're in the contract so that you understand everything. And moving forward, you know exactly what your obligations are going to be.
Absolutely.
And what to expect.
The principle and unchanging rule of 150 years of American business is money is exchanged for goods and services. You take any business 101 class, that's the first thing they tell you. You want to be a business major, you understand that and you commit that to memory.
And I think one of the changes in terms of representation, part of the suit with the National Association had to do with sellers that were complaining that they paid for the buyer's compensation. So now these rules and guidelines on clarity as to who pays what. So on Guam, we explain that to any potential buyer, that what if the seller won't pay the compensation for the buyer's agent? So these are discussions that have to be had on the front side. What if? And we've had situations where buyers had to pay either the full commission or a percentage of the commission. So again, all about disclosure, who pays who. And agents are out there working not for free. As Gina puts it, we all are entitled to a living. And so the compensation, the question is, who is the compensation going to come from if you are buying a home? Mm-hmm. And is it coming from the seller or part from the seller and part from the buyer? So again, educating them and saying these are scenarios that could happen. And we need to be prepared on the front end. And it's always good for Gina and myself to know if they tell us, well, I don't have the extra money. Well, then we're going to have to negotiate with the other agent to see what we can do to balance it out so this particular buyer can get the home they want and work out the details on the backside.
And I do believe we've now come full circle because, Gina, you actually set the tone for this entire discussion by saying, look around, ask around, find a realtor or find a brokerage or find an agency that really works for you. And at that point, when you want to seriously do business with them and get the property, then you can start talking about the agreements. But by all means, shop around, right?
Oh, you have to. I mean, it's like any good decision, any good purchase you make out there, you don't just do it on the fly. So now, because you have to sign that broker agreement in advance of looking at properties, you absolutely need to invest a little bit of time into figuring out who is going to represent your interests the best. And yeah, call around, make some phone calls, talk to family, talk to friends. Everybody has an opinion on something, so I'm sure they'll share theirs on this.
There you go. And you can find Liz and Gina's wonderful faces on their wonderful signs along with their phone numbers, and they can talk to you and talk to this or about any other topic. So we are starting 2026 off right. We're going for what we always do on the show now, 10 years strong: education, opportunity, and a good positive mental attitude about this kind of thing.
I'm so sorry.
Business goes by so much easier, Liz. I'm sure you would agree when you got a smile on your face.
Definitely. But I've got to say, Gina and I love what we do. We love helping people find what it is they're looking for. That first and foremost versus the compensation on the backside. We want to make sure there's a balance as well. So it's a great 2026 to start with.
There you go. Okay, well, ladies, have a absolutely wonderful, wonderful week. I know you didn't bring any snow back with you, but maybe next year, maybe in the winter.
I'm gonna bring a Ziploc next year.
I'm gonna hold you to that. All right, have a wonderful week. Thanks again.
Thank you.
Of House to Home, presented by Remax Diamond Realty.
Guam's auto appearance specialist, Elegant Reflections, has been providing the automotive industry with professional detailing and car care products at its highest quality, from complete detailing, full interior detailing, exterior detailing, headlamp restoration, hand washing, seat and carpet shampoo, engine degreasing, undercarriage cleaning, paint sealant, fabric protection, paint oxidation removal, and so much more. Visit us at our new location. Call 646-5555 for an appointment. Elegant Reflections, Guam's auto appearance specialist, over 20 years of experience.
Weekly Renewal is brought to you by Calvo's Select Care.
This week's Weekly Renewal highlights a gentle way to refresh both body and mind through a community care share event focused on mindfulness, movement, and connection. As the new year begins, many of us are looking for ways to slow down, breathe deeper, and reconnect with ourselves and with our community. That's exactly what's happening this month through Payless Supermarket's Community Care Share Series, spotlighting Synergy Studios, champions of mindfulness and holistic health. On Thursday, January 15th, the Community Care Share Series invites the public to a special chair yoga experience at the Mighty Payless Education, a space dedicated to learning, wellness, and community connection. Chair yoga is a gentle, accessible practice designed for all ages and fitness levels, whether you're new to chair yoga or simply looking for a mindful reset. Led by instructors from Synergy Studios, these sessions focus on breath, movement, and intention, helping participants refresh both body and mind. It's about starting the year grounded, finding balance, and creating space for well-being together. Participants will be guided through simple stretches and calming movements, all done from a chair, making this a safe and welcoming experience for beginners, seniors, and anyone easing into wellness at their own pace. No experience required, just come as you are. Beyond the movement itself, this community care share session is about creating intentional time to slow the pace, quiet the noise, and focus on personal well-being. Synergy Studios believes wellness should be accessible, inclusive, and rooted in community, and that's exactly what these chair yoga sessions aim to offer. Whether you're balancing work, family, or simply the stresses of daily life, this experience is designed to help you reset, even if just for a few moments, and leave feeling calmer, lighter, and more connected. It's a reminder that self-care doesn't have to be complicated. Sometimes it starts with simply showing up. Sessions are limited to ensure a comfortable, personalized experience. Advanced registration is encouraged as limited spots are available. To reserve your spot, simply scan the QR code on the flyer or reach out to the Payless Health Smart team for more information at 671-477-8919. This is part of the Payless Supermarket's ongoing commitment to supporting healthy lifestyles and strengthening community care, one mindful moment at a time. So this January, take a pause, take a breath, and take part in something that nourishes both body and soul. Join the Community Care Share Series featuring Synergy Studios, January 15th at the Mighty Payless Education.
Weekly Renewal is brought to you by Calvo's Select Care.
A Chamorro doctoral student is leading new research focused on the health and lived experiences of Chamorro people